Hello everyone, welcome back to Twin Flame Insights. Today, we're taking another look into the world of twin flames. If you're new to this term, imagine one soul manifesting as two separate beings, each a complete expression of the same soul and existing to fulfill the universal principles of balance and duality. Well, if you've ever felt an intense connection with someone that feels almost cosmic, you may be experiencing a twin flame relationship. This goes beyond the typical soulmate concept. It's more intense, more spiritual, and can take you through a roller coaster of emotions and spiritual growth. In this video, we'll walk through the different phases of the twin flame journey, from the initial glimpse all the way to the union of these two twin flames. Alright, so the first stage of the twin flame journey is often called the yearning or glimpsing stage. This is when you start having dreams or see signs that hint at something extraordinary on the horizon. It's like your soul is dropping breadcrumbs, leading you toward a transformative experience. You might find yourself suddenly drawn to spiritual concepts or practices that you'd previously overlooked. You may even feel an intense, almost magnetic pull towards a certain person, even if you haven't met them yet. But it's not just a crush or a fleeting attraction. It's something deeper, something you can feel in your core. This stage sets the emotional and spiritual groundwork for what's to come. Your soul is essentially saying, hey, get ready. Something big is about to happen. So, you've been feeling this magnetic pull and maybe even had a few prophetic dreams. What comes next? The meetup. This is the phase where you actually come face to face with your twin flame, and let me tell you, it's nothing short of electrifying. From the moment you meet in person or through some other means, it feels like you're looking into a mirror. Your soul recognizes itself in them. It's as if two pieces of the same cosmic puzzle have finally found each other. The meetup tears down the walls that make you feel like two separate beings. You'll likely feel an immediate sense of comfort, as if you've known this person for lifetimes. It's the universe's way of saying, here you are, two expressions of the same soul. Now, let the journey begin. Okay, let's move on to the euphoric stage that is the love bubble or the honeymoon period. You've met your twin flame, and suddenly, everything seems to click. It's like you're floating on air, and the connection you share feels absolutely divine. You might feel like you're living in a dream, a utopia where nothing can go wrong. This is the stage where you and your twin flame are in near-perfect harmony. Conversations flow naturally, and there's this unspoken understanding that both of you share. However, here's the catch. During this phase, the energy between you is building up significantly. And while it feels great, this energy tends to become unbalanced. It usually starts sliding over to one side, creating an imbalance that eventually needs to be corrected. It's like a seesaw tilting more and more to one side. So, if you find yourself in this stage, savor the moments, but also be aware that things are bound to evolve. The love bubble is beautiful, but it's not sustainable in its initial intensity. The energy will have to balance out. That's when the real work and growth begins. It's almost like a prelude to a symphony. The best and the most challenging parts are yet to come. Now we get to a phase that many find to be the most challenging and unmistakable part on this journey. The dark night of the soul. This is where things really start to get rocky. You might experience emotions like jealousy, doubt, and mistrust that make the relationship extremely complicated. What sets this apart from a regular relationship is the intensity and the inescapable nature of the emotional pressure. Imagine a closed-loop system where the energy has nowhere to go. It keeps circulating between the two of you, getting more and more potent. In a normal relationship, there might be an escape valve to release or offset the emotional buildup. But in a twin flame relationship, there's no such option. This leads to an extremely confusing and draining dynamic. You may try different strategies to bridge the emotional gap, perhaps even manipulation at some level, but these attempts only serve to push the other further away. The relationship begins to feel like a never-ending, dark, emotionally taxing loop. The runner may feel overwhelmed, as if they're being haunted, while the chaser becomes obsessed with returning to that initial love bubble. But it's not that simple. The dark night of the soul is essentially a trial by fire, a painful part of the journey. It's an opportunity for deep self-reflection and inner work. You're confronting your darkest fears, insecurities, and traumas, all while experiencing an incredibly intense connection with another person who's going through something very similar but opposite. And remember, this isn't just emotional, it's also a deeply spiritual process. Your soul is refining itself through this experience. While this phase is turbulent, it's crucial for personal growth and spiritual development. Understanding that can make navigating this difficult stage a bit easier. Okay, so now we're diving into one of the most tumultuous and emotionally charged phases, the runner-chaser stage. You could think of this also as a trial by fire of the twin flame journey. The emotions and energies between the two individuals reach such an intense level that they trigger a sort of fight or flight response. One person, known as the runner, often pulls away both emotionally and physically, while the other, the chaser, feels compelled to pursue them. It's like a mental game of cat and mouse that is deeply emotional and draining for both. So what's really happening here? For the runner, it's usually a paralyzing and crippling state of fear and dread that triggers their withdrawal. They can't handle the intensity of the connection and need to distance themselves as a form of self-preservation. This often includes actions like ghosting or even blocking the chaser on social media platforms. On the flip side, the chaser experiences an overwhelming urge to fix the relationship. They find themselves obsessively mulling over every detail, trying to understand what went wrong, often blaming themselves and shouldering a heavy emotional toll. It's like they're caught in a cycle of emotional highs and lows, unable to break free. Now, here's the kicker. Sometimes the runner leaves for years, only to return and repeat the cycle. This is truly a trial by fire, where both parties are tested emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. At the end of the day, remember that this phase serves a purpose. It's an opportunity for growth and self-reflection, an opportunity to confront your deepest fears and insecurities. So as difficult as this stage is, it's also a crucial part and a critical sign of the twin flame journey that paves the way for what's to come. So, after the roller coaster that is the runner-chaser dynamic, we arrive at the sixth stage known as surrender or detoxification. By now, you, especially if you're the chaser, are probably emotionally drained. You realize that the pursuit isn't sustainable, and for your own well-being, it's time to take a step back. It's like hitting a reset button. You start putting your focus back on yourself, engaging in self-care, maybe diving deeper into spiritual practices, or even seeking professional guidance to navigate these turbulent emotions. As you take this time, something incredible starts to happen. The energy between you and your twin flame begins to settle down. It's like letting a cup of muddy water stand still until it becomes clear. The runner, who has been overwhelmed by this intense connection, finally gets the space to breathe and starts feeling less burdened. What's even more remarkable is that this easing off often opens the doors for a reunion. Remember, the love here is real, and even a severe falling out can find its resolution. The soul yearns for unity, and when the energies are right, it will find a way to bring you back together. And finally, we arrive at stage 7, commonly known as the union phase. This is the moment you've both been waiting for, where you finally come together in the physical world in a more balanced, mature relationship. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but it can be if you choose to make it so. The energetic highs and lows, the push-pull dynamics, the emotional roller coasters, they've all led to this point. In this stage, both the runner and the chaser have worked through their issues and emotional baggage. The intensity that used to be a challenge now becomes the glue that binds you. You'll find that things flow naturally and that there's a mutual understanding that transcends words. The union doesn't mean that life becomes a fairy tale. Challenges will still come. But now you tackle them together, as two complete expressions of a single soul. The universe's principle of balance and duality is satisfied, and so are you, finally united in love, peace, and purpose. So there you have it, the 7 stages of the twin flame journey, from the initial yearning to the ultimate union. It's a journey filled with highs and lows, challenges and triumphs, but it's all part of a greater cosmic design to live at the level of the soul. Remember that the journey isn't about finding your other half, it's about discovering your own soul. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful or intriguing, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Feel free to drop your thoughts or questions about twin flames in the comments below, and who knows, maybe we'll do a follow-up video addressing those. Until next time, take care.